right, in the honey yellow, it's Aecium. In the bottom left, in the roach donut jelly purple, Steelman.
Okay, well, I like this approach from Steelman, going immediately for the low ground pylon because that area is so easy to wall off. So we'll probably see a fast expand from that, right?
Yes, either gateway into Nexus or forge into Nexus if he's feeling like maybe he could cannon the natural of Aecium.
Yeah.
Or if he just wants a little bit of extra protection, but it will be a gateway expand.
Nice positioning on that as well. So with the cyber, you not only get to wall off the entrance to the natural, but you also get it down so that you're blocking the ramp to your main as well. So it's a nice little position there, and a very small choke. I'd say this is almost as small as the one on Cactus Valley, maybe even the same size.
Okay, so he's going for the forge, a little extra protection. You can still even cannon rush the natural if he was over there.
Or if there was one.
If there was a natural.
Yes. But it looks like a quick speed opening from Aecium.
Now, Steelman's going to go over here and scout. And he should realize what's happening as soon as he sees the gas, sees the pool is done. And then evolution chamber. So this could be a +1 timing attack.
Yeah.
With your Zerglings.
I used to do an attack like this quite often. So you get +1, you get your speed upgrade, and then you're able to hit at a timing where they both go off at the same time. So your Zerglings are much more effective. That could be what we're seeing here.
So he's going to have the +1. He's going to need some Overlords. But no big deal.
Nope. Not a big deal at all. Plus, all his resources are going to be going into... He's going to be able to spend them immediately with the Queen and then that speed research. It's a nice wall off, though. So these lanes are probably... They're going to have to go into the backdoor location because there's no way they're going to be able to bust through that wall. Now with the cannon, the Zealot is just too well defended in that choke.
Of course, if the Zealot is on hold position and in the correct spot. Yeah, so... but the Lynx can actually get a little bit more surface area on the Zealot there, but it will be defended for now. And he's just going to go back to that backyard location.
Yes, start chipping away at those rocks eventually. And you're right about that Zealot. It was a little more exposed than it needed to be. There's a lot more surface area on it than usual, but with the cannon finishing up, that's exactly what Steelman needed to hold this.
So the Nexus finally down for Steelman is actually a little bit later than I thought he was going to put it down. But I suppose you just, when he saw that gas, that pool and evolution chambers, like, well, I better get this cannon down. I don't want to die to something really stupid like that. Well, not stupid, but something like a +1 speedling attack.
Yeah, and that could have been really bad if he wasn't prepared for it. But what we're gonna see now is, I guess, a Baneling bust.
Okay, so this is not as common against Protoss, but that's what makes it sometimes
Unexpected.
Yeah, well, yes, definitely unexpected, but that's why it works.
Yes.
On occasion.
You're not always prepared for the Baneling bust, and that's actually a very vulnerable location. So he could bomb on top of that pylon. It would unpower all those buildings, take out the cannon, take out the Zealot. Okay, second pylon coming up, so it's almost like Steelman has recognized that this is a vulnerability.
When the Baneling nest is actually about to finish up, so we'll see how many Banelings Aecium does decide to morph in. The Overlord is going to scout this pylon coming down, and 5 banelings. This should be enough to take out that pylon for sure. Maybe in that cannon if he gets it right in between.
Yeah, with good positioning, the cannon will go down because it actually has less health than the pylon. But I think the big issue for Steelman is going to... Oh, okay.
Okay.
Mutiny.
So sometimes when you select your banelings, you just get so excited and you press X.
Yep, it's called premature
explosions.
So yeah, the banelings are gonna run in here. The speedlings need to catch
just
up.
Force field it off,
Okay.
Okay, so
going for the forge. You got to cancel that +1.
And this.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well, the forge is down, so that's that. Oh, the lings get in, but they get killed immediately.
But there were only 2 lings anyway,
Yeah.
so that they weren't gonna go far anytime soon. They did the Aecium did manage to cancel that +1 armor.
Yeah, and you know what? Aecium has been getting upgrades. Like, he had +1 5 minutes ago, so he's just going to continue his upgrade advantage. So this is still an interesting play. He can always choose to go around to the backdoor rocks, because that is an option on this map. It was fairly exposed, but instead he's just going to flood in here with some lings. He can't actually get through there because there's double zealot and a sentry.
And the stalkers can shoot over the force fields. The mothership core is definitely helping out, and that cannon as well. Like, these things are not getting through that wall anytime soon.
Okay.
Now, I'm not really sure what he's going to do with this lair. Possibly a spire or just roach speed
Well, you know what?
with his Rotorin.
I think that maybe part of the problem with that Baneling bust was that they didn't get to the forge fast enough. So maybe if he gets Baneling speed along with it.
Maybe. Yeah,
Maybe.
if they roll in instead of just saunter in.
Yes, I mean, like, the damage you do to a building is directly proportionate to how fast the Banelings are moving when they hit it.
Well, we all know Newton's second law. Force equals mass times acceleration.
Of course, we all did know that, especially me.
Funny thing, there would actually be no acceleration there. Anyway, constant velocity, no acceleration. Let's check out these lings. So they've gone to the backyard expansion. Those ones could begin work on those rocks right away, while these ones hang out in the center of the map.
Yeah?
But it's looking like Steelman wants to push out. He's got a decent army. It's very threatening. But Aecium does see it coming, so he can prepare. He can get some roaches out.
You know what? Hydras are pretty good against pure gateway units, so if he can buy time until this attack happens, let this Hydra den finish, and then make units to kill these units, then this can maybe still work.
Go ahead, sorry.
It's good for Aecium that Steelman was delaying that a little bit, hanging out in the middle of the map, but he needs to find some way to buy more time.
What he can do now is take those group of links from the back and run them in the front. I don't think he fully walled that off. But now, Steelman's coming in. He's going to be able to force field off the ramp, really separate the reinforcing power of the Zerg. This queen is definitely going down and no problem. Aecium is in such trouble. He only has 6 supply worth of army, and it's all in lings. In the completely wrong spot. This hatchery completely dead, and Steelman is just going to roll over Aecium in Moonlight Madness.
Yeah, well, you know what? These Zealots aren't on attack move, so they lose all of their shields before turning around and murdering.
GG! Steelman takes it. And in the bottom right, in the 5,000 degrees Celsius yellow, also known as the surface of the sun, it's Aecium. And in the top left, in the mixed berry roach jelly purple, it's Steelman.
So if you were eating a mixed berry roach jelly force field donut, okay, which flavor would take priority? You know, which one overpowers the other?
Force field.
Okay, force field, so like the pastry part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So it looks like Steelman wants to cannon rush this space. Or at least fake it. He does have the forge, but it's not going to be up in time. But he could, certainly fake this cannon rush. As long as he throws down a pylon at any time within the next minute.
But Aecium, he knows this.
Yep, he's got full vision.
His overlord's actually going to see the front wall of Steelman and know that the forge is actually just finishing up. So you can choose to take this like moderately to semi-moderately seriously.
Yeah, I mean it's certainly possible for Steelman to force a pull on the drones. Actually, no, Lings are out, so this will be cleaned up now. The probe's likely gonna die.
Especially if it doesn't try to get away.
Yeah. That probe had very little will to live. It went on a scouting mission. It got lonely out here.
I was wondering where X was.
Yeah. And, sometimes when you're on those lonely scouting missions, there's not much you can do except just admit defeat to the Zerglings.
This is a very similar build that we saw last game from Steelman. He gets that natural wall up very quickly with cannon behind it, the cyber core, and then at a much later time puts down the Nexus.
Yeah, I mean, you can get the Nexus up faster than this, but this is just a very safe opening. These drones need to go back to work. There we go.
Now, Aecium, because his overlord has seen the front of the wall, he should know that there is a cannon, 2 pylons, and the forge and the gateway there. So instead of going for that Baneling bust, which didn't turn out very well from last time, now he's got the Roach Warren.
Yep, straight into Roaches, getting Ling's speed with it. Ling's speed is really an amazing upgrade, and Aecium really doesn't want to die to anything cheesy, so he's got his Lings running around the map looking for any sort of proxies. Look at that rally point. It's just going everywhere. I'd like it if he split them up so that they could cover twice as much ground.
To maximize the area scouted?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Oh my god, speaking of rally points, check out that Overlord too. Aecium really values scouting in this situation.
Well, that's really good. Scouting is very important in this game. If you don't know what's happening to you, you're going to get really screwed up.
Yeah. I mean, scouting, macro, and basic, micro techniques will easily get you, into Diamond League, as long as you can handle all of those.
Yes. Now, Aecium's Roaches are making their way across the map. Those Lings still scouting. Unfortunately, that Overlord does go down, but he expected that. That's like the almost 7-minute scout that you send your Overlord in, you're like, here, go die for me, I need this information, and it gets shot down by a Stalker or a bunch of Marines if you're playing against Terran.
Yep. Now, unfortunately, I don't think there was any scout on the, no, the gateway explosion was not scouted.
But will that even matter? This push from Aecium might just be enough to kill Steelman.
Could be.
And Steelman's going for that +1 armor again. Normally you go for the armor against Terran.
Yep.
And the attack against Zerg, but just really values the lives of his units. That's fine.
Yep. No Roach left. All right, no Zealot left behind. Protoss units are very expensive, so keeping them alive longer is always a good option. But yeah, because there are so many critical upgrade points where, if you have X upgrade, a certain Zerg unit will die in less hits than usual. Then
yes.
Usually the attack upgrades are prioritized. But armor is a solid choice. At least he's getting upgrades. That's really the important thing.
Okay, so these Roaches are again, we're not going to let you have this upgrade. So he's focusing down that forge. Nexus cannon does go down. It will be able to push back this Zerg force. Zealots and Stalkers do come out, try and pick off the rest of them. These Roaches don't yet have roach speed, so the stalkers can chase. All of these roaches are going to die.
That was a very expensive upgrade denial.
It took a long time for Aecium to decide to actually attack. He was hanging out on the map for a little bit longer than he needed to.
Oh, but once again, he's going straight into Hydras. So Hydras will be very great at dealing with this gateway-based army. But at the same time, it looks like Steelman is going for the, a similar timing on this big gateway attack. And will Aecium have enough units to deal with it? The Queen immediately gets sniped. The Stalkers are going to go to work on those drones, and now they get caught by the roaches, and they're going to get sandwiched by the Hydras. This is a great position for Aecium, and it looks like he's going to be able to clean up all these units.
There's no Mothership Core. There's no retreat here. Oh, there's the Mothership Core. A little late to the party. But these Hydras are going to be able to take down all these Stalkers and the Mothership Core since they used a Time Warp instead. Okay, so now they're kind of like going back and forth with their armies.
Full-on retreat from the Protoss, but there's so many speedlings coming out on the map. And has this wall been repaired? Is there a way into the base? We'll see in a minute.
Those Hydras like trying so hard.
Okay, the wall is open, but there are a lot of Zealots on the ramp. So if they get their act together, they can hold position on the bottom and block all these units from getting in. Looks like they're going to retreat up the ramp. And they do have a good position there.
Mothership Core does go down from the Hydras here. They are to come support all the Lings and Roaches, and they do so much damage. You have to keep your squishy Hydras in the back so they can just DPS.
Oh, but now they're exposed. They're getting chased down by the Zealots. They don't have Hydra speed, so they won't really be able to retreat, and they are all going to die. This might force a situation where we're going back, where Steelman is back on the offensive.
The Twilight Council actually just finished up for Steelman, so he may just wait until Blink has finished and then really put on the pressure. Or just put on some light pressure now, kind of pull back, don't lose too many units, just get what he can, maybe a drone or two. Or an Overlord that's in the middle of the map.
He could have got a surround on all those Stalkers, and he is going to try to, but there's just not enough Zerg here. Roach speed is finished this time, so he will be able to retreat.
Okay, so now 16 Lings on the way for Aecium, as well as 5 more Hydras. The Lings and Roaches have to buffer for the Hydras because they're just so fragile, so squishy.
Yeah, but they do have that insane DPS. It's got to be careful though. Don't want to engage this army chunks at a time. So the Zerg's on top of it. The Lings are on the Zealots, but the Zealots are just wrecking them. The Hydras are exposed now. They're getting punched in the face by those Zealots, and I think there's just
this
too
is
much
maybe
Protoss.
too much for Aecium. Steelman may have done it.
Aecium was trying to take the third base, but now with the Protoss army between the second and third, all the reinforcements get taken out in clumps instead of in a large unified Zerg force. And so many drones are going down. None of them get pulled.
This is it. The Man of Steel really sticks it to Aecium and is going to move out in first place.
Yeah, both these players are going to move on to the round of 16. But Steelman is going to take the top seed. There is this macro hatch in production, and Aecium has a lot of money, so, maybe he can make things quick enough. I don't really think so. We'll see. We'll see.
I don't know. I mean, Man of Steel, that is Superman, right? So
yeah, that's true.
It's pretty difficult. We're just waiting for Aecium to be okay with being in second.
And it turns out,
GG.
Turns out if you give Superman the power of Protoss, he'll just go for a gateway all in and win it.
Yes. Good to know.
Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe to support the ASL by hitting the button now.